find a way to hold this camera. I'm just going to get over the embarrassment that I'm talking live on a camera here in the city of Virginia Beach. And, even a moment ago, I just stood here with my dog doing something, and some guy comes up behind me on a motorized skateboard and looks at me. I'm like, seriously, there's 1,000 paths and this is the way you choose? I just turned around and gave him a look with my pit bull here, and he turned around. So yeah, that's kind of the mood I'm in. Hold on, what's going on? Of course, there's somebody coming down the path. Anyway, so let's hang up here for a second while I wait for these people to pass through and see which way. I don't know. She's pacing back and forth. Anyway, this is Ray. This is Life and Vibe. And as you can see, my social anxieties getting the better of me. But I don't unfortunately have time to sit and record a reaction to anything because of the fact that I have to go home and study for my midterm. So I am trying to do what I always try to do, which is massively multitask. And if anyone joins me, thank you. So I'm trying to do this more frequently, and I'm just, fortunately, I don't want to just sit in my house sometimes because that's a really boring background. And I'm one of these people that if I'm going to come out and do this, unfortunately, I've got to come out and walk this enormous bulldog or pit bull thing or whatever it is. There's the dog in order to maximize the time I'm spending out here because I need to go home and get ready to take a midterm exam. So that said, I feel like I have this habit of making part ones to my reactions, and then I never get a chance to sit down and make part two because things have just been insanely busy lately. And part of it is that last week I was driving down the interstate and hold on, this is the part of the live stream that nobody wants to see. Oh, hi, somebody popped on, hi. I don't even know if I can see the chat, so if I could figure out how to actually see the chat, I would respond to anything. Because at some point I'm hoping that I can actually have a channel. Sorry about this. I'm trying to figure out, come here Junebug Heel, because I don't want to stop the live stream. We're going to have some old people come past. It's going to freak them out in the city of Virginia Beach that I am holding a camera and talking to it, because this area of the United States is probably one of the most highly conservative parts. And though it's 2 o'clock on a Tuesday or 2:30, seems that everybody in the city of, sorry, I've got the bags just here, in the city of Virginia Beach is out and about because, nobody works in this town. So I've decided you don't get any peace at the oceanfront anymore. It used to be when I first moved here about 20 years ago. Nobody lived down here. This time on a Tuesday, this place would be dead. You wouldn't see anybody, even at Christmas time. This place would be dead. But now, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to show something horrific here. Hold on, I've got to do something. Shoot. Yeah, you lost me, unfortunately, in the live, because I'm trying to take care of some business over here. And I've got one hand, obviously, because I've got one hand holding a camera and the other trying to take care of my dogs, because she had to do it straight away, man. Just, and of course, oh, shit, literally. All right, I'm setting this down. You're going to have to just shut up the nostrils. Hi, everyone. This is the worst live ever. Of course, I don't expect anything else but the worst live ever. I'm going to make sure I put this out. So if anybody wants real, this is real. This is as real as it's ever going to get. This is me, the worst camera hold, my iPhone, the worst microphone, probably with my hair scratching along it, and a dog that just took a business, and every weirdo in town probably lurking around this place. Has got really bad lately. So last Tuesday, so it was a week ago today, I have another dog who you don't really see out because she is unfortunately very sick and have oh, of course, her and my heart failure. And she has also, fluid in the stomach. So basically my older dog has heart failure at the moment. And because of that, she's on some diuretics and she's not doing very well. And so last Tuesday, I kind of knew this was going on. If anyone doesn't know, I'm a registered nurse, and at some point, hopefully, I'm going to try to get questions ahead of time. I can't even look at the questions, I'm afraid, because I'm holding the stick, walking, and my other hand's got the dog with her business. Because this is my life as a grad student, and I probably don't even have anybody watching. But anyway, and I got to go home and study and take a midterm. I've just got the worst anxiety and no support systems, and I think that probably makes it worse. So yeah, I found out my friends are absolute garbage. My friends probably think I'm garbage too. So it's probably equal garbage. And unfortunately, I started to learn as I reached my mid-50s that if you don't have good finances and able to kind of keep up with the rest of your friends, and you're a single female, and so you're like trying to do it on one income, you're probably not going to be able to maintain much relationship unless you have a really good job. And I think the percentage of women who make over $100,000 or $150,000 or something like that, it's maybe 9 or 10%. So, it's very hard to get to that sort of percentage. I mean, you've got to be in the top 10 percentile of your sex in a very competitive country. So, yeah, that's a very high-end goal, which is why so many people, I think, get involved in, things that I just wish women didn't have to do, like OnlyFans and stuff. I know they find it empowering. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. I grew up in the 90s. I'm like not that old school. Oh my gosh, I wish this dog would stop sniffing so I could get rid of her business. Oh Lord. So anyway, I've had a spate of bad luck on my car lately. And this one, I think, was about the top of it because, sorry, I can't, fortunately, I got one hand I can hold this thing. I'm going to try to switch hands as best I can, but I'm going to switch back over in a second. Once you get this camera set up, anyway, if anyone's listening to this, I appreciate it because I can't even see the comments or who's on here. Anyway, so yeah, I got shot at. And oh yeah, those are jet noises. This is the other thing that sets my anxiety up to the 9. So here I am trying to take a nice little walk out here with my puppy. And then I get the sound of freedom. Hi, there's someone jumped in. Hi, hello. Sorry, I wish I could say hi and see who it is and see your name and figure this all out. But no, I was just about to jump in and tell my story about being shot at, which is just awesome. So yeah, I was trying to make it quick, but my dog is, of course, excited because she's finally outside because it rained horribly yesterday. And to be honest, I haven't really wanted to be outside since I got shot at in my car driving down an interstate at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So long story, very long story. I'll try to make it short because I wanted to talk about Foodie beauty and unicity and this person being in supplements. And I'm trying to get to a place, I hope, that maybe, because like I said, I'm in grad school, I'm studying pathophysiology at the moment. I'm trying to maintain my high GPA. And I've had a terrible flu. So I apologize. I've just had so much going on that I have not even been able to touch base with anybody here on the channel. And that makes me sad because I have seen a lot of people creating content and I have just been, mentally exhausted between school and work and being, in my mid-50s and being single and having no family around and no support systems and then trying to just navigate this all on my own and not be really petrified while I do it. Anyway, so last Tuesday, and if I sound really congested, I've had the worst flu. I'm driving down the interstate. I've already had a brick, okay, fly at my car at the end of October, beginning of November, that just missed my windshield and hit 2 spots on a pretty new vehicle. I mean, I bought the car in 2021 and of course still paying on it like any good person who's living here in the United States. So yeah, I knew that needed to be looked at, but you know, it was the least of my concerns. And so driving along, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, got to get the dog to the vet with the heart failure, and I suddenly hear pop, pop. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I just suddenly, I look, and in my lower left hand part of my windshield, right where they put the inspection sticker here in Virginia, I suddenly got just all this glass shattered on me. And obviously, my first thoughts is someone shot at my vehicle. I'm not thinking it's rocks, I promise you. I've been hit by plenty of rocks, I promise you. This is where I feel like my friends are like minimizing things for me. And I know people try to minimize in order to help people maybe feel better, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, I guess people like minimize to help people feel better. So yeah, got all this shattered glass on me. I've had a rock hit this windshield before, and I can promise you it was a very different, and this is one where the rock, hit, and then over the period of an hour maybe, the glass started to split. So the whole windshield that time. So I know what it looks like to get hit by a rock. This was not getting hit by a rock, man. It's gunshots, and I wish I could figure out a way to, maybe I'll use the picture in my thumbnail when I go to post this up. Maybe I'll use it. But yeah, I don't know how to share my camera, unfortunately. But I would show the picture of the 2 shots of the bullet holes in my windshield. So yeah, that was pretty frightening. And so yeah, I'm covered in glass. I need to get my dying dog. Yeah, I hate to tell people, so trigger warnings on all this. But I should trigger a warning because it's sad if you care about animals. So yeah, I'm just thinking, this is wild. It's like I had no disagreement with anyone on the interstate. Nothing like that was going on. I'm literally just driving down the interstate. And suddenly I'm thinking, now I'm going to have to get the car with the insurance. I've got things, I'm supposed to be doing things for school, as far as studying for a quiz, which is why, I've taken the day off, or the afternoon off to get the dog to the vet, do some other stuff. And suddenly now I'm dealing with like gunshots in my windshield. So that was pretty wild. And so yeah, a lot of my friends, like I said, were just saying, oh, it's rocks. I don't think it's rocks, man. It's not rocks. It's not rocks. So yeah, the car's in the shop, and it's just been, it's just one disaster after the other on that, as far as, I'm very, oh, hi, someone said, hey, hi, caffeinated girl. Hello, good to see you. Thank you. I'm so glad you're safe. How scary. Thank you. Yeah, it was really scary. Thank you for saying that. I am glad I am safe too, but it's made me not really want to go out too much. Because like I said, I had a brick almost hit. I mean, I had some disasters on my car. And if I can recommend anything to anybody, get AAA. I don't sell for AAA, but that thing has been a godsend. Towing me off the sides of highways, towing my car to the collision shop after this, gunshot thing happened. So and then I got really sick, and then that day I found out that my dog isn't doing very well and needs to be put, kind of to comfort. And I've been struggling with it. And so, yes, AA is a lifesaver. Oh gosh, worth every penny. Especially if you're a single female, if you do not have AAA, it is like the best boyfriend you'll ever have, or girlfriend, or whichever you prefer. It's the best partner. Maybe that's the best term to use. It's the best partner you'll ever have, because they'll actually come real quick. And if you get the right policy like mine with the tow, you can get towed really good distances and not pay anything. Like, it was able to be towed, the car to the collision shop, but, sticker shocker, because of the damage that also happened with the brick that came out of nowhere and hit my vehicle a couple of weeks ago, which is a separate policy, but they're both there. It's $1,000 I have as a deductible because I have fully comprehensive insurance. So, plus I think I have 100 on the windshield, and then it's probably, I don't know if they're going to do the accident forgiveness because it really wasn't caused by me. So, yeah. I don't know who was shooting at me. I don't know if it was coming from across the highway because it was on the highway. I don't know if it was coming from a building. I don't feel like it was a stretch of the highway in Virginia Beach that had buildings. But then when I reported it to the police, they said this has been happening. So that made me feel worse, man. So yeah, it's been a little bit rough. They will even replace your battery, yeah. They'll come out with gas too, AAA. I've had it, they'll come out with 2 gallons of gas. So if you're really low and you're needing to get some gas in your car, call AAA. I've had that a couple of times when I've been real poor. They'll do it one time in a year. And I promise you, there's been times right towards the end that when I've been so broke, and I don't mind admitting it, that's the thing for me too. It's like, this is like reasons number 55 why I can't save for an emergency fund. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I do have the microphone on, and I do have, obviously, hopefully a pretty decent phone here. But I am, walking. That's not too windy. Okay, there's a gentleman coming. I think we're going to go this way. I think we're just going to try to avoid this guy and this dog. I don't know. I don't like men in Virginia Beach. Sorry. It's very hard to get quiet time in this town. It used to be this place is very quiet. So yeah, my test kind of bombed out. So anyway, so I have to go home and take a midterm today. I'm in the midst of advanced physiology and pathophysiology. So I'm really getting down into the nits and the grits of the disease processes and how things work in the body. And so and this is the last topic I'll touch on too, and just say thank you all for those of you who just stopped in and joined me on the live. Like I said, I'm hoping at some point people will be comfortable to send in questions about health topics that are in the news, and we can have a conversation about, what is really the value of what's being said and what is just hype to sell a product. Most of it's hype to sell products, I can let you know that. Though, I know food is a lot more complicated than just telling people to eat fruits and vegetables. There's a lot more nuances to it, which is why I think some of these new meal services that bring fresh food to the door is actually like some of the most awesome choices out there at the moment. I mean, always look at the sodium. That's my thing. It's probably the one ingredient. If I were to look at something on a packet, I mean, obviously, the sugar, the calories, but really the thing I focus in the most when I look at anything is just what is the sodium. And if it's a 2-serving thing and it's showing a 1 serving that is 2,000 milligrams of sodium, and you eat more than 1 serving, then I definitely would avoid that type of food just because of its high sodium content. And then, this whole thing with McDonald's trying to get this fancy, new image, just to shove out more heart disease, diabetes, obesity, kidney failure, probably eye loss, cognitive decline, whatever else comes along with that trash food. I have nothing good to say about that type of diet. I really don't. Not even for a treat anymore. I think it's gotten to the place where it's not what was like originally served by these fast food places. I think it's like become bioengineered way away from that, and just does not serve anything nutritious, filling, brain sustaining, or anything. And I think because people have such an inadequate diet, and this will lead me now into this foodie beauty girl, being in an MLM called Unicity. And I've seen a couple of creators now. One is Zachary Michael. I don't know if you've ever seen him, who comments on her as a commentary channel. And he was talking about it the other day, and he happened to say she was in an MLM, and he did say some really things about MLMs being sketchy. And so I appreciated that people seem to be getting more and more educated that these business models are really not beneficial for those who participate in them. So from that, I was super happy. Sodium is a primary thing I focus in on labels too. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, caffeinated girl. I'm so glad, because yeah, I mean, it is probably, it's going to tell you that's the first thing it's going to tell you to put that thing down. That's why I never can eat like canned soup, tinned soups, because the minute you look at the back of a soup label and you see the amount of salt in those things, you already know, keep away from that. That is just salt in a can with some flavoring. It's so, sorry about the cough. Like I said, the worst flu. So yeah, anyway, I'm walking at the park by my home. Anyway, so yeah, she has joined a MLM company called Unicity. And I know Julie Joe just did a reaction to her recent video that she put out probably on YouTube. And I understand it's not actually her who is the one who has the business account per se, but her husband. And so he is the one who is the account holder, but she was the one out on her channel literally advertising the products. And so there's two primary ones that this, individual who, if anybody were familiar with her content, would know that this is not a healthy individual. This is not somebody who has the education or the capacity to be suddenly instructing, guiding, educating anything to anybody about health. She has had a history of not being able, sorry about the jet noise, to maintain her own health. And so I just find it somewhat ironic that she would feel qualified to be able to help others. But, when you're shilling an MLM, you're shilling an MLM. And so there are two products that are the primary ones that they're trying to, charge these absorbative prices for. And it just makes me laugh, because all of the primary ingredients for these, if you looked at the back of the label, you could see that these are all ingredients that we find everywhere all the time, and they just promote it. So if they're talking about, these drinks give me energy, generally the primary ingredient on that product, or in that product I should say, is caffeine, because caffeine is generally what gives people energy. And the most worrisome part of this is that people may not really understand the amount of caffeine, and therefore they may drink more of these products throughout the day, especially if they're a distributor and they're trying to promote it, and therefore they may not even realize how much caffeine they've intaken. So that is probably one of the most common. If it's a weight loss or anything of that nature, it's going to have a laxative always, and you can get a laxative for next to nothing at a pharmacy, Target, Walmart, wherever you like to purchase your products like that from. Next to nothing. So I don't understand why people feel like they need to buy very expensive flavored laxatives, but that's what they're doing. And then the other would be things to help suppress the appetite, which would be psyllium fibers. So that's when people are using, or anything for bulking. So if they feel like they need to have more binding to the stool, or if they feel like, they want to be able to help, possibly transport cholesterol, there's some potential effects of lowering blood glucose, and just a couple of different health benefits that come along from consuming psyllium husk. And even I have a bag of psyllium husk at the house that has no flavor, no additives. It's just the psyllium husk. And if you want to add it to, 8 ounces of iced tea or something of that nature, then that's what's always recommended. So basically the two products that she's selling, this YouTuber, who is not somebody, like I said, I would get my health advice from. One is for, I guess, energy. Who knows what it's called? Unicity Energy. Who knows? But it's from Unicity. And it has caffeine. So I think the packets, and I don't know how many are included in each box, but I think they're like $160 or something ridiculous. I mean, just insanity, the price of something that literally I could take you to Target and I could show you Target brand or Walmart brand, or they probably even sell this stuff up at the Dollar Tree nowadays, because they even have some medications up there, and you could find this product and you could get, the energy caffeine. So yeah, let me get you a bag of coffee. And then the psyllium, like I said, I had a bag of that I bought from Target from next to nothing, but it just has flavor to it. So I mean, if you feel like you need to have flavor with your psyllium, I mean, if you want to, make it crystal light and add it to that, then, you can do that. You can put it into your coffee. If you get one that's plain, it costs next to nothing. And you'll get a bag of it that probably lasts you for months for, $10 or $12. So it just, and then again, if you're taking any of these types of supplements, caffeine, if you're increasing the milligrams of caffeine beyond of just, enjoying a cup of coffee, then obviously, or you're lacking energy, then that's potentially a sign that you could have, other lab results that are low. And I'm not even going to say which ones. And I, probably off the top of my head would think vitamin D could be possibly low. That's often the one that most Americans are low on, and the one that would be needing to be replaced, since we don't produce it naturally in the body. And even me being out in the sun like this today, it's very low light sun, and I'm covered up in a lot of other parts of my body. I'm really not going to be synthesizing with my vitamin D supplies. I've been very low, especially when I work nights and stuff. I got really low, especially this time of year too, when it's dark. So, I mean, I just wouldn't start thinking, oh, let me take this expensive MLM product that this, person that has a history of, non-medication compliance, diabetes, obesity, and I don't even know what other diseases. And I'm just going to say these things because she has. And they're all things that do change people based on those objective pieces of information. So anyway, and I think she's diabetic too. So here you have a diabetic. I'm losing people watching. But a few people dropped in. Let's see what we've got here. Here we go. Like the Panera case right now with the charged lemonade. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You should mention that. I think it's because of children were drinking it. I mean, it said really clearly charged lemonade, which, if you're thinking charged, it's obviously had something happen to it in order to boost the drink. And I avoided them because I have the Panera Sip Club, and I actually avoided going and getting that specific drink. I just stick to lemonade, unsweetened lemonade with a little tiny bit of the agave lemonade on the top, just to kind of give it a little sweet, and coffees with almond milk. That's pretty much what I get from there. I don't do sodas. Oh, and sometimes carbonated water, on occasion, but you still have to be cautious with how much of those carbonated drinks that you're taking. I love them, don't get me wrong. But still you are adding another chemical component into the water to give it the carbonation, you know, so I don't know how hydrating that is over time. I've heard mixed studies on it. So yeah. There was a man who drank several, oh my God, and had a heart attack. Oh gosh, conditioned by the lawsuit saying, oh yes, oh gosh, yes. One of the reasons why we do not recommend caffeine is it can accelerate somebody's heart rate, especially in an unhealthy heart. And it then can trigger various cardiac arrhythmias that can be potentially fatal to somebody. And there are why just even supplements, you know, or all these, anything that you take to, you know, a high amount is never good, because you've got to have either your kidneys or your liver have got to be the places to waste these products out. And the kidneys do a lot of it, especially for things that you're taking, as far as like foods, medications, drinks, fluids. The kidneys are huge, and I think people don't even realize, you know, if you have hypertension, you could actually shut perfusion down to your kidneys, and then your kidneys are going to have problems. You're going to have problems diuresing, then you're going to start holding fluid. It's a whole renin, aldosterone, angiotensin cycle right there that most people kind of get messed up into. But yeah, well, I mean, they did state on the, see, this is the thing. I guess they just had it open and people could help themselves with the sip club. And so, yeah, they were very liberal with his drinks. And I saw that it had caffeine in it. And I was like, oh. You know, I kept away because, you know, sometimes when they start to say all these drinks and they start to have all these multiple ingredients in it like that, that's when I think to myself, yeah, let me kind of keep away from whatever that is, because that's going to get into some territory. So I think they were almost offering like Red Bull on tap, pretty much, you know, and all these different flavors. And yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Oh, yeah. I mean, they did put out how much caffeine and stuff. And generally, if you are anybody who is a cardiac patient or has any known cardiac history, the one thing you really should stay away from is caffeine. That we do not serve caffeinated coffee on the cardiac floor or give out packets of salt. Those are two banned substances in the cardiac world. So yeah, that's bad. So yeah, so you've got this unlicensed, unregulated YouTuber who is trying to sell these two very expensive MLM products. I'm hoping to do a reaction to him because she obviously, this is not, you know, I just wish they'd have the basic respect to understand the science before they got out there, or just even understood how much harm people can have from having so much, you know, of these types of supplements, how it can harm the kidneys, how it harms parts of the body. So yeah, that's really bad. Anyway, I'm coming up to my home now, so I don't want to dox myself. But thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Caffeinated Angel, for just stopping in and adding to the chat down there. I really do appreciate it, and for just wishing me well. And so I'm actually going to post this up, and since I got a little bit of people being able to come in and say hi, I'm going to try to do these more frequently. I'd love to be able to sit down and just have the time to record and do the reactions that I love to do. Unfortunately, it is not time. Well, it's not. I have so much going on with work and school at the moment. It's just the time is not here. Oh, I'll show off one thing I did get though. Since my car is in the shop, this will be the last thing. I'm not to dox my neighbors, but I am getting to drive this nice, really nice Mitsubishi Outlander for the next few weeks while my car is in the shop. But they're having, yeah, thank you. Take care, everyone. Yeah. And so, yeah, like I said, if you guys have any questions, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's like it's one that's also got a, what is it? It's a hybrid. So if I wanted to go electric in it, I could. But anyway, so yeah, happy mid-December, everyone. December 12th. Take care, everybody. And I'm going to look at some more topics. And we're just going to keep talking about foodie beauty too, because this is really bad. And I'm just going to probably go live and do it this way. So at least I can just keep saying, hey, and stopping in. And I especially want to support people if they're going to be alone at Christmas, because I'm going to be alone. So if you're alone, come join me. All right, everybody, take care. This is Life and Vibe. Appreciate it all, and take care. Be safe. Please be safe.